Steamboat Resort has something for everyone. From the long, open groomed trails, gladed aspen tree skiing, and steep chutes, it's hard not to enjoy yourself at Steamboat. It's a lower altitude resort by Colorado standards, receiving 314 inches of snowfall each year. There's plenty of on-mountain accommodation options, or you can stay in nearby Steamboat Springs.
Recent changes to the resort have improved lift access and separated the beginner and kids area from general skiers. There is plenty of tree skiing across the whole of Steamboat, including some fantastic aspen glades. The long, open groomed trails make this the perfect resort for an enjoyable family holiday or for intermediate skiers looking to level up. The distance from Denver makes Steamboat more of a destination resort, avoiding the weekend crowds.
Getting to Steamboat is a relatively long transfer for the interstate or international traveler using Denver International Airport. There are car hire options or a shuttle service that you can take straight to your lodging. Alternatively, consider flights into Hayden Airport, but you will need to book transfers from the airport to where you are staying.
Steamboat is in northwest Colorado and about 3.5 hours from Denver. The car journey requires a drive up I-70 through the Eisenhower Tunnel and then up Highway 9 and 40 over Rabbit Ears Pass, which can be weather affected, so check CDOT. If you're staying in Steamboat Springs, there are buses to get you to and from the mountain. If you have a car, there are a few paid lots, but the free parking near the resort is limited, so you will likely be riding a shuttle.
Recent changes to Steamboat have improved the lift services and the base village layout. The main village has lots of food and equipment shops, ski school and mountain services are easy to find, and getting to and from the buses is a short walk and escalator ride. The new Greenhorn Ranch area provides a beginner area separated from the main trails, making for a fantastic place to learn to ski away from the crowds. Beginners no longer need to tackle the cat tracks from Thunderhead Lodge.
There are loads of big lodges providing food options across the mountain, with Thunderhead Lodge providing spectacular views of the valley. 4 Points is great in spring, and Rendezvous might have a snow slide out back for the kids. You can take packed lunches, but check the map as not all venues allow brown bagging.
Let's get to the skiing. Steamboat has a lot of terrain for beginner and intermediate skiers, and some fantastic tree skiing for advanced skiers. For the beginner, the Greenhorn Ranch is the best place to find your feet before venturing up the Thunderhead Express or taking the gondola all the way to Sunshine Peak. Note, mid-station loading is not allowed at the Wild Blue Gondola until mid-morning. Why Not is a great long trail for beginners to build confidence on away from the crowds. Sunshine Peak provides access to some great long greens and blues off Sunshine Express, but this part of the mountain can get very busy, so expect lift queues. For young kids, the features under the Greenhorn Ranch Express and the Little Rodeo Terrain Park are worth a look.
For the intermediate skier, the Sunshine and Sundown Express offers some long blues and can be a good place to soak up the sun on cold January days. Quick Draw and High Noon are excellent long rolling blue groomers. For the adventurous, the trees off of Quick Draw and Flintock are a good place to give gladed skiing a go. The Thunderhead and Elkhead Express chairs access Moonlight and Vagabond trails, which can be a good place to avoid the weather on windy days. For the more adventurous, the Morningside Lift provides some fun blues and short blacks, but there's a bit of a run out to the lift, so keep your speed on the lower parts of the trails. Off the top of the resort, Buddy's Run to either Tornado Lane or Calf Roper is a great way back to the base.
The terrain parks at Steamboat are on the lower slopes, so they can be limited early season or impacted by spring conditions. The features off of Bashor will suit any level of skier or rider. The Rabbit Ears Terrain Park is normally away from the crowds, and Little Rodeo will give the whole family a chance to show off their skills on your way off the mountain, but it can get quite busy.
Steamboat has limited very steep or chute trails and no genuine bowl skiing, but it makes up for this with some great mogul or bump trails and fantastic tree skiing. Access to the chutes is from the Morningside Lift, most of them requiring a hike. But with good snow, it can be worth the journey, although the steep pitches are fairly short and there's a long run out. Storm Peak North and South are the closest to bowl skiing on the mountain and deliver great trails on a clear day. The new Mahogany Express and the Pony Express are the go-to areas for advanced and expert terrain away from the crowds.
In our opinion, advanced or expert skiers should just explore Steamboat moving across the mountain based on the snow and weather conditions. Shadows and closets are excellent, but there is great tree skiing across the whole resort, like the trees left of Rolex. This is a resort where you'll find your own favorite spots.
A few things to be aware of with Steamboat. Being a lower altitude Colorado resort, the snow at the base and along right of way can get very soft and sticky in spring. The Sunshine and Morningside parts of the mountain get a lot of sun, so can be sunbaked, making them icy in the morning and slush in spring afternoons. The lifts accessing the top of the resort are exposed and can be impacted by wind and snow, limiting access to parts of the mountain. Depending on the time of year and snow conditions, some areas and lifts might not be accessible.
The top of Morningside Lift or the Thunderhead Lodge are the best places for a panoramic selfie or group photo. Note the Morningside Lift opens later and closes earlier. Being further away from Denver, the weekend and powder day crowds are not as big, meaning you can still find freshies a few days after a storm. When planning your travel, be mindful of I-70 traffic on a Sunday afternoon, which is not an issue if you're flying out of Hayden Airport.
Whilst not as high as other Colorado resorts, if you're coming from sea level, take it easy on the first few days and drink loads of water. The terrain at Steamboat is spread across a few valleys and ridges, so if the weather turns, look for lifts in areas out of the wind and you should be able to keep skiing, avoiding the worst of the weather.
There are lots of on-mountain accommodation options at Steamboat for those seeking the ski-in, ski-out experience, and plenty of shops and restaurants across the base area. The village of Steamboat Springs is a short drive or bus ride down from the resort base, providing additional accommodation and supermarket convenience. As the name suggests, Steamboat Springs has thermal hot springs for an evening outing or rest day activity. If you are staying on mountain or in the village, a car is not needed.
In our opinion, Steamboat is a great beginner and family resort that offers a comprehensive range of skiing for all abilities. It has long open, groomed trails, steep chutes, and some of the most enjoyable tree skiing in Colorado.
This lower altitude Colorado resort has a relaxed village vibe and leans into its cowboy heritage. A little removed from the big city crowds, Steamboat is a great destination resort. Check out our trail and lift videos to get the most out of your visit to Steamboat.